and welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. So it's been a month. So I know I always say I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, blah blah blah. Clearly you can tell I have some motivational issues. So So I was gonna do a video on my plants, and I think I'm just gonna end up showing you guys. Well, first of all, I hope you've been well. I hope your 2024 has started off with a really good start. I hope everything's going great. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good year so far, or a good 2024. So January came and went. I was going to do a video on my plants, and then I just kind of decided not to, because for one, plants are really not that interesting. I mean, depending on who you are, yeah, sure, if you're a botanist, that's one thing. I think it's a botanist, right? Anyway, so if you're not a botanist, it's kind of plants, you can take it or leave it. Most people will look at a plant and just cool plant, whatever. So I think I have at least 18 plants in the house, and I was you know what, going over 18 plants and some of them are the same kind of plant is kind of redundant in my personal opinion. I will show you guys my Monstera though, just because that's the Monstera is my baby, and I'm so proud of how large it's gotten. Ta-da! So this is my Monstera. This is my pride and joy. It used to be half the size when I first got it. I actually got it from my mom. She gave it to me, and she was like, "Oh yeah, here's a plant for your collection." Because when I first started out, I didn't have a lot of plants. So as you can see, this plant is really big. Within the past several months, I don't know. Actually, I want to say the past 6 months, it's been producing pretty massive leaves. And I was actually really excited about that, because the plants actually are, the leaves are actually having these holes, which basically is meaning that your plant is happy and healthy. So I'm super excited. I was so excited when I saw that, how many holes are in here. And even just this one has holes too. They're, I don't know. And I feel it's funny too, because this plant is always producing leaves. So apparently I'm doing something right. I did go through a period when I did repot it, it got shocked. Plants go through shock when you repot them. And I was freaking out, because a lot of the leaves were turning, the edges were getting all rusty looking, and so I was freaking out a little bit, because I was oh my god, did I kill this plant? But so far it's been good, and it seems to be thriving really well. As you can see, there's a new leaf that's growing back here, and I'm hoping that it's a nice, decent sized leaf. But yeah, as you can see, it's it's been growing both ways. It's been growing outwards, and it's been growing upwards. So and I'm sure some of you guys didn't know this, but for the longest time I didn't realize this, but Monsteras are actually a climbing plant. So in the rainforest, they actually will start, they start at the bottom near the root of the base of the tree, and basically they'll climb all the way up a tree to the very top of a really tall rainforest tree. I had no idea that they do that, and I think that's really cool, and it makes sense, because it has aerial roots is what they're called. It's these things right here, these long brown thorny looking things, but they actually get really long. I don't know if you can see down here, but there's a lot that are on the floor. There's some aerial roots on the floor, because it's looking for something to climb up. It's really hard to kind of keep this one under control. We've tried tying it up quite a bit to try and raise it up a little bit, but it just, because it gets heavy, it just keeps on falling to the floor and just spreading all over the floor. So I don't know what I'm gonna do when it starts getting bigger. Am I gonna put it in a bigger pot, because that means So like apparently, depending on how big you want a plant to get, like if you keep giving it a bigger pot, it'll just keep growing and growing and growing. And I'm not sure if I want to, I want it to get bigger, but at the same time, it gets so heavy to try and move around. I have it on like a wheeled base right now. But I mean, I don't know what would happen if it got even bigger, you know what I mean? So I don't know, we'll see. I should do a YouTube search to see if there's like anyone out there that like how they take care of their massively oversized Monstera, because I really don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I said, I want it to get bigger, but it's like a lot of work. So yeah, that's my Monstera. Just wanted to give you guys like a short little update on like what I've been up to. So trying to, you know, like work out and not get back in shape, but just like work out and get stronger. That's like one of the things that I've been up to. I actually recently started going to a gym, and I was doing that for a little bit. I didn't subscribe to like do like a monthly payment, so I usually like end up just paying for like a week pass and going like every day of the week. And for whatever reason, that seems to like motivate me to like go work out, just like knowing that I only have a week, like I only have 7 days to like do my workouts. Like for whatever reason, that kind of puts fire under my butt to like go work out. So I was really proud of myself. I actually ended up and I know this is probably not a lot to some of you guys, but I ended up doing like 270 for the leg press, which is the most I've done. I think I probably could have done 300 if I really pushed myself, but considering that I did like, I think 4 sets of 6 for 270. So yeah, I for sure know I could have done the 300, but anyways, so I was doing like trying to get into like the, you know, my weightlifting stuff. But for January, I like ended up, so one of the main reasons why I didn't end up making a video for January when I went to Florida, so 2 reasons. One reason was I kept on forgetting my GoPro at the place that we were staying at. So again, I'm not used to videoing. For one, I'm not used to, this is like gonna go off in 10 different directions. I can totally tell. Like I'm gonna try and keep this focused. So one of the reasons why I don't like, so I forgot my GoPro, so I'm not used to like videoing in public. So I like a lot of times I won't think of bringing my GoPro with me. And then when I think about it, I'm like, oh crap, it's too late. It's at home and I'm out. And then the only other thing too for me is like I have a hard time videoing in public. I don't know if anyone else has been through this, if like you do YouTube videos, or if you do any really sort of like social media, and like you leave, like let's say you video yourself for like a short like 30 seconds like doing something or whatever, because you're like you want to show one of your friends on Snapchat or something. I'm not a huge fan of videoing myself in public, just because like immediately like the whole judgment of like, oh, you're a social media influencer, oh god, and not one of those girls. And like I know I shouldn't really like care too much about what other people are thinking, because I think at the end of the day no one's really paying any attention, as long as you're like not in the way and just being obnoxious. And I feel like that's like common sense. Like if you're gonna like, it's like the whole like, if you're videoing in a gym, like don't get upset at people for getting in your video. Like they're there to work out. You should be there to work out too. It's like, I don't know, I just feel like it's like it should be expected, I guess. So but anyway, going back to like the whole like, okay, just have a hard time like videoing in public. But then also I'm not used to having like a video camera going all the time. So like if I have my GoPro with me, I don't always have it running all the time. And I think that's like important for making good videos, is that you kind of have to have like the camera running often. And it's just kind of hard for me to get into that habit. It's something I should probably start practicing, trying to like use it as an excuse for like exposure therapy even, just because I think it's like, if I want to get good at it, I have to keep trying to do it, right? So again, like if you have dabbled in like the whole making a YouTube video, like you'll understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, I didn't really get any good footage, like even on the Insta360 when we went riding. I dumbly put the Insta360 on the CB500 so I rented a CB500 through RiderShare. Very smooth, easy process. Like I definitely recommend it to anyone that's looking to like, if you're a rider and you're going to a different state and you just want to like, you know, check out the roads and stuff. Not the roads, like the whatever, scenery, whatever, and you decide to rent a bike. I think RiderShare is pretty decent. So I ended up putting my 360 on the CB500 that I rented, and the footage didn't turn out as good as I wanted it to. And you think like, okay, I would check like the Insta360 after a little bit to make sure it's videoing where I wanted it to, but like I think the mistake that I made there was that most of my footage with the Insta360 just turns out regardless of what I'm doing. Like I can have it at a weird angle and I can usually, like the footage is salvageable, or I can just like move it a little bit in the editing software and it like works out. Like I think that's the beauty of the Insta360 is because it's not just doing, you know, like the GoPro has this one frame and then that's it. It's the Insta360, you can just like move it around to like, okay, well I'm gonna change the angle because I don't like how it looked from the other angle. Well, that wasn't the case for this one. It just didn't turn out how I liked it, and so I ended up scrapping everything and just being like, whatever, screw it, I'm just not gonna even, like, I'm not gonna even. So yeah, it just never panned out for that. So yeah, I think, I don't know, I feel like that's a huge part of like when you're learning the process of stuff and you're trying to do things, failure is like a huge part of any hobby that you are getting into. So, or at least that I get into. I feel like it's kind of like a inevitable thing that's going to happen. Like you're just gonna suck at some things sometimes, and then you just learn from it, or I just learn from it and I just do better. Hopefully do better. So yeah, that's kind of like what's been going on with me. Just like a short little vlog of like, okay, that was January. I'm hoping that, you know, I get to post some good riding videos soon. It's slowly warming up here in Minnesota. It's very interesting. Like the last couple days have been in the 30s and the 40s, and it's just very, very confusing. Because for January and February for Minnesota is usually like negative weather, negative degree temperatures. So it's just weird that it's like you can even see like the sun behind me is just like all shining bright, and it's like actually kind of warm. Today is 45. It's February 4th and it's 45 degrees out. Kind of weird. So hopefully soon I'll be able to do some riding stuff soon. I'm really excited about being able to do videos with my bike. My bike is still really new to me. I got it last year in April, right when it was released. I actually ordered the bike, and it hadn't made it to here from wherever the heck it came from UK or whatever it is, wherever it is that they put it together. So anyway, so yeah, I appreciate you guys. Whoever you are, I appreciate you coming in and listening to my vlog. If you made it to the end of this, like, thank you. Like I said, I hope to be doing some more interesting stuff in the future. If not, just more vlogging stuff. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Take care, and I hope to see you guys all in the next video sooner than later.